Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is Victoria here if you are new to my channel, and today I am bringing you a full day of eating video. So whenever I ask for recommendations of what you guys would like to see on my YouTube channel, a lot of the times they are what I eat in a day or healthy recipes. That seems to be majority of the recommendations. So I'm going to get into this full day of eating, but I do want to put out some disclaimers before we get into it. So first of all, just because I eat this particular way does not mean you should eat this particular way. I think there's a lot of misconceptions when it comes to how people eat and what they look like and whatnot. We're all very different, we're all very unique, and what works for me might not work for you. I like to have a higher carb approach, moderate protein, moderate fat. That seems to work for me. But you know what, your body's different, and what works for you and your lifestyle and having balance within your lifestyle is different. I also want to point out that I eat intuitively. Basically, I eat how I feel. When I'm hungry, I eat. When I feel like something, sweet, I'll have it. When I feel like something salty, I'll have it, you name it. But it's taken me a long time to get to a point where I can eat intuitively and I kind of know where my body's at. It seems like the last 3 or 4 times I've done a full day of eating, my calories have been around the same without tracking, which is interesting, which I find interesting. So obviously that seems to be where my body needs food. Obviously, if I'm trying to reach a particular performance-based goal, let's say I'm trying to put on a lot more muscle, I would need to be more structured with my diet to make sure I'm in a surplus of calories. Or let's say I'm trying to lose weight, I would want to be in a calorie deficit. So basically I would want to be more mindful of what my macros are. So if that is your goal, then obviously you need to be probably tracking, or if you're just trying to have more balance and a healthier lifestyle approach, then getting to an intuitive state of eating is great, but a lot of times it's going to take a bit of time. So I really suggest, if you're unsure about your macros and what you're eating and achieving your particular goals, that you work with a coach, and you work with a coach who knows what they're doing. So there's a lot of information out there, a lot of misinformation out there, and I think it's important, based on what your particular goals are, that you work with someone, or you do your own research to find the best approach, not just going on videos, seeing what people eat and following that, because that's not necessarily what is going to work for you, and that is not the approach I would recommend. So I just want to put that out there. Also, if you've had any, history with eating disorders or unhealthy eating disorders, tracking macros is not necessarily the best option. And if you find that you're becoming very fixated with what you're eating, with the calories, with the numbers, I suggest to stop doing that. And if you're still struggling, to seek out a medical professional and get help for that. So for a long time, I just couldn't really track macros, and I still don't, because I find when I start tracking macros, I get a little fixated on the numbers, and it just becomes, my relationship with food changes. So that's why it's so important for me to just eat how I want to eat. Obviously, if I were trying to achieve a leaner physique, this approach might not be the best, because I'm eating kind of how I feel, what I want, you name it. But in terms of living like a healthy life, for me, this seems to be the best approach. It seems to be working. So that is why I eat like this. Also, I eat out quite a bit. So this would be a typical day, let's say, of me eating at home. But on the weekend, I actually ate out pretty much every single day, just because we were not here. We were out with friends. And when I eat out, I don't necessarily eat as healthy as I do at home. So my calories might be a little bit higher. And I would say during my period, I would say my calories are definitely a good 500 to 600 calories higher, just based on me feeling like I need more food and me eating more food. And days that I have more snacks like popcorn and a little bit more chocolate, or again, if I'm out for food and eating, there's usually a lot more added oils and things, my calories tend to be a little bit higher. But I'd say when I'm eating at home, this tends to be between 2,000 and 2,300 seems to be the mark that seems to work and seems to be what I've been doing. So with further ado, let's get to this video so you can see all the meals, and hopefully it's helpful. But I just love this breakfast. It's so filling, it's so satisfying. I feel like I have a lot of energy first thing in the morning. And a lot of times people don't like breakfast. So, if you're a person that just doesn't do well with breakfast, that's fine. And for how I do my oatmeal, I basically just add water and I let it cook for 2 minutes. Then I take it out, keep stirring, and add a little bit more hot water just to give it a bit more fluff. All right, the final product here. So my 1 whole egg whites. I take my hair, skin, and nails, my multi, and my fish oil. I'm sadly missing my probiotic because I ran out. I have my oatmeal here, my coffee where I have some cream and Splenda in there. So yeah, I'm gonna get to it. So this is the rice we use. So I'm gonna make enough for Regan and myself, and this is, we just do it in the rice cooker, which is super easy. So you'll do 2 cups of dry rice to 3 cups of water, and you basically just put it in and click it on and it's good to go. And this is the time we always use the Ledberg. Okay, so I just finished training glutes, which Nick filmed, and then typically I'll film my workout. Sometimes I'll film 2 workouts in a day if I'm doing like an upper body and core, or maybe I'll do an upper body and like some HIIT training. But today I just filmed basically a leg workout with the focus on glutes. So then Nick filmed it, and then I usually stay here for another hour and a half to 2 hours. By the time we go through the footage, he puts it on his computer, edits it, adds the name of the muscle group that I'm working. So today would be legs. I'll probably put glutes because that was where my focus was, and then adds the reps and everything. So that takes a little bit of time. So I typically have a bar just right after my workout, just to hold me over till I get home. So I basically brought all the bars that I like switch between. So I really like this one by Garden of Life. This is their performance one, so it's a little bit higher calories. I think it's 280 calories, 36 grams of carbs, I believe. Yeah, so this one is a little bit more, where these other ones are all 220. So this is the new one by ALANI. It's a protein cookie and it's really good. I'm not the biggest fan of the white brownie one. I find it a little too sweet for my liking, but this one I really do like. This one's also 220 calories. The difference between this one is not plant-based. I believe it has a whey protein blend. This one's plant-based, and then these ones are made with egg whites. I don't find any difference really with them all from my stomach or digestive issues, which is good. So I also really like these ones, and these ones are also about 220, how many? 22 grams of carbs. So these 3 are basically the same macro-wise, and this one's just a little bit higher. So that's usually what I will have, and I'm gonna just decide which one to have. I don't know. I'll decide one of them. So I ended up going with the protein cookie by ALANI. And this is what it looks like. I already took a bite, so I do apologize for that. But yeah. Alright, I just got back from the gym, so I'm now going to make an actual meal. So I'm just cooking this quinoa blend. Basically has 2 different types of quinoa, lentils, and some rice. I'm going to add it to my salad. So that's cooking, and this is the particular brand. I meant to get just actual quinoa, but today I decided to switch it up with the 5 grain. So we'll give it a try. So I have my lettuce here because I'm going to make a salad. So there's iceberg lettuce in there, and then there's romaine. I'm going to use about 4 ounces of chicken breast. So I'm going to be using this chicken, which is the chicken that Regan gets sent to himself. It's by Trifecta, and it's really, really, really tasty. I recommend, if you're from the States, it's a little bit difficult to get it if you're from Canada. I'm going to have balsamic for my dressing. I'm also going to use this Mother Raw Greek for my dressing. I'm going to fry up some pepper and onion, which I'll show you, and then I have tomato and cucumber, and I'm gonna add a little bit of dried cranberries, and that's probably it. So I'll show you kind of as I cook and the final result. Are you wanting a bit of a salad? Salad.
Bye.